Okay, we're broadcasting now.
Cool.
Is someone like a wood shop going on in the background?
My roommate, we're renovating one of the rooms in here, but the hammer is not my end.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, well, there's no construction on my end, but I guess we are group 3, right? And we're covering personal jurisdiction.
Mm-hmm.
So my girlfriend took this class last semester, and so she kind of explained to me how it goes down.
Cool.
And basically, we're supposed to go through our examples that we each wrote, and then after we go through all of our examples, then we choose one of those and we create the question that goes off of it, and then create answers and explain why the answers aren't right, and then we choose one of the answers that is right and explain why it is right. If that made any sense.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I can start us off, and I can read you guys basically what I wrote down. So I'm gonna do a screen share here.
Is everyone on mute who's not talking? That always helps with like hearing.
Okay. All right. So for my example, I wrote, Bill lives and works in the state of Utah. Over a period of months, Bill begins to steal money from his employer. Eventually, he is caught. The CEO of the company lives in New York, where the company's headquarters are located. Bill travels frequently for his job. Sometimes during business in New York, the CEO files a case against Bill in the state of New York. Does New York have any jurisdiction over Bill? So what do you guys think?
Since they're doing business there, I would think that they would have jurisdiction.
Yeah, one thing that from our reading that I thought would also go against Bill is there's the long arm statutes. So that it basically says extended personal jurisdiction over people or corporations that do business in the state, own real property there, or committed the alleged tort of the state, entered in the contract in the state. So just for the fact that like Bill is doing business there or has done business there, and dependent, I guess, about how much time he spent there, they could maybe have a case against him. And then also the fact that maybe the long arm statute would also affect Bill in that case.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, cool. Who wants to go next?
I can. All right. If you want to go.
Oh, go ahead.
Sweet. Okay. Sandy is a resident of Oklahoma. She was visiting her sister in Texas when she accidentally drove into a local credit union. The credit union decided they wanted to sue Sandy for the hours lost of operation and the damages done to the building. Upon learning that Sandy is from Oklahoma, the credit union learned that they did or did not have personal jurisdiction over Sandy in that state, I guess. Probably could be worded better, but. So yeah, because she's not from Texas and the credit union is only local, I don't think that they would. Is that correct, if I'm understanding this correctly?
Yeah, I agree. I don't think that they have personal jurisdiction, but I don't think Sandy gets off scot-clean either.
No, absolutely not. But I think they'd have to go to Oklahoma to sue her. Like it have to be done in an Oklahoma court, if I understood the reading correctly. So yeah, that's mine.
Well, I didn't. For some reason, type mine in. I didn't save it, but mine was. Bill, who lived in the state of Washington, was in an accident where he hit Sarah, who was from Missouri, while she was visiting friends there in Washington. And 2 weeks later, she decided that she wanted to file suit against him for personal injury and wanted to file it in the state of Missouri. Based off of what I read, she wouldn't have any personal jurisdiction in Missouri because Bill has never lived there, and the accident actually happened in the state of Washington. Does that sound right to you guys?
Yeah, I think
Yes.
so.
So pretty much, is it like if they're doing business or something along that, they pretty much have the jurisdiction?
I think they have to have like property or some kind of something tying them to that state. Is that correct?
I remember
Yeah.
in the video like minimal contact, but it's kind of vague of like what exactly counts as minimal contact.
The book says that the conditions for personal jurisdiction is they have to be properly served with the complaint or summons, and then they have to have sufficient ties to the state in which the lawsuit was filed.
I can read mine now. So I said Bob works for Melaleuca in Idaho. He has been working with Hannah in Salt Lake City, and last year they entered into a contract. Bob has breached the contract. Hannah wants to sue Bob, but Bob says since he is located in Idaho, the Utah court does not hold jurisdiction over him. This is wrong because of long arm statutes. Because he does business in Utah, they hold jurisdiction over him.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Let me get that one real quick. All right. So mine, I get, you guys all have a thing for people getting hit with cars and buildings and such. Mine is fairly simple. I just did something that goes along with schooling. I just said, Dave is studying accounting and works hard to get good grades. One day, Dave is late for his class, and the teacher has collected homework already and will no longer accept it. Dave decides that he will just wait and go to the next accounting class right after his and turn in his homework. During the next class, when the teacher calls for homework, Dave walks up and hands it to the teacher. Teacher does not accept it because he cannot pass judgment over his paper because he teaches a different class and doesn't have personal jurisdiction over Dave. Does that sound about right? Mine was a simpler kind of form.
That's like a super simple example of how I understand it, at least. That sounds really good, actually.
Yeah, because when I watched the video, I watched the one about the lady going back to church, and that made a lot more sense to me than when they brought business into it. But
no, that's perfect.
I actually like your example the best out of all the ones mentioned, just because. What was it Jake? Yeah. God.
Yeah.
I just feel like that's super clear. Like it really boils it down to like the nuts and bolts of it.
Okay, so what are we supposed to do next now?
Okay, so since Jake volunteered to write it down, we just need to go through that template and make sure that we get it filled out.
all right. Here we are. I'll get the link after we're done. So our example. So which example did you guys want to use?
I'm good with anything.
I like the accounting one personally.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah, let's go with that one.
That's easy for me. I don't have to retype it.
Copy paste.
All right. Okay. So explanation of our example. Pretty simple, right? That he just doesn't have jurisdiction because he's not the person that can pass judgment.
I feel like they want us to really spell it out. Be like, he's not in that class, so X and Y, and just
All
give
right.
him, like a really solid explanation as to why not.
All right. Yeah, you can just start talking. I'll type.
Yeah, I think that this example, like, I like it because it's really simple, but it's dependent upon the teacher as well. Like, we might get caught up just because there's a lot of, like, the law terminology that goes into it. So it's like, I don't know how we'd be able to alter that to the example.
Mhm.
But I think we might be able to still do it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I say do it.
I think we need to include something about like the minimal contact and the long arm statutes.
Oh yeah, good terms.
Okay.
Mm,
So maybe for our, like, reasoning, like the definition of personal jurisdiction. Oh my gosh, jurisdiction itself is judicial power over the parties in the case, and so just because it isn't the teacher, she doesn't have the judicial power over the student.
Okay. So definition of personal jurisdiction. Is this looking okay so far? I'm just kind of putting in, yeah, shorthand. So, you guys want to add in anything?
That looks good.
Anything else you guys want me to add in particular?
just maybe say something about like you would need to have sufficient ties to this other place for him to be judged there. Doesn't have an answer.
Maybe just say specifically he would need to be a member of that class in order to submit his homework there, or something.
That's good.
All right. You just want to do a simple multiple choice question since that's kind of what was given in the example.
Sure.
Just keep it easy. All right.
Was the quiz question based off of
The example.
Yeah, before I delete it, it says it should at least have a tie or base on the example that we did give.
So could we say, like, based on the following example, and then choose the correct answer kind of thing?
Yeah. And I think we could probably shorten this a little bit.
Right.
So
like based on the following example, I guess probably shouldn't be a true or false question, hey?
Yeah, no, we gotta have at least 4 answers. So unless
Okay.
false is 2 of them and true is 2, we can get away with it.
Based off of the following question, the second teacher should, and then A, grade the paper. B, hand it back to the student and tell him there's nothing he can do. And then C, turn the paper into the correct teacher. Or all of the above. Grade the paper and then turn it into the correct teacher. Or you can put A and C.
All right.
Should we put like, I don't know, like grade the paper because he's also the teacher and that gives him jurisdiction, like add to him, or is that be something in our like explanation later on?
That might be a good thing to do in the explanation, because like we have to explain why these answers are wrong.
Does that look all right? The most part?
Yeah.
So correct answer B.
B is the correct answer because it is.
We wish it was that easy.
Pardon, sorry?
Just what do they want us to do? Retype everything?
Yeah, basically. B is the correct answer because the teacher does not have personal jurisdiction, because teacher B doesn't have personal jurisdiction over the student. Like the second part's kind of busy work. Wrong answer 1. It's like, well, just look at the other ones. Those are the wrong ones.
How's that? I keep spacing that. That's a real question.
Good.
So I'm looking over like the instructions for it, and it has like every answer. It says like, do this because, like for the A, B, C, and D.
Yeah, screen share that so we can all see for just a minute.
Sorry, I have to like use a different one from my computer. Golf.
Here.
Can you see that at all? Yeah, that's so blurry. It's under here. I'll just show you where to find it. It's under welcome and then instructions for group meetings.
Instructions for group meetings. template for look at the example here. This one's not multiple choice. I did see another example that was. Yeah. Another one. Oh, that's one I just clicked on. What is that? All right. So why is A wrong?
A is wrong because he does not have personal jurisdiction over the student.
Okay.
Thank goodness for baseboard trim.
This one.
See.
He just shouldn't. I don't know. Because
I feel like he doesn't have jurisdiction.
he doesn't have personal jurisdiction.
That's like the simple answer to everything, right?
Yeah.
So he already knows the roles of that are set up.
One of the, like I said before, like one of the things is they have to be like properly served with the complaint or summons, and so it's like maybe the teacher can't properly like serve it to the other teacher or whatever.
That's totally, yeah. I like that.
Say that again.
All right, so it says that one of the conditions for it to be personal jurisdiction is it needs to be properly served with a complaint or summons. And so, like, it can't properly be served through those means. Like, I don't know. That would be more to the or the whoever's being served it, like the student in this case. But maybe we could twist it to work in our example.
That must be properly served.
It needs to be properly served to the first instructor via the student, not another teacher.
Yeah, exactly.
So the court can't give it to the other court in a different state?
No.
I don't think so.
I've had people do that at my work all the time.
All right. So D, we should probably come up with a different answer besides just like A and C or something. I think we should come up with something specific that we can have a good answer to.
Oh, how about like the teacher just like tosses it, you know, like with nothing else?
Doesn't notify the student that he threw it away?
Is that?
Is there anything within the reading that's a specific, like?
Yeah.
Maybe like even the teacher, like this is a stretch, but maybe the teacher teaches in a different department and the student tries handing it in during that class period or something. That might fall under like the long arm statutes where it's like, I don't know, they have like personal jurisdiction over like their same corporations in other states, but because it's a different department, it might not work.
Isn't it the same class though?
Yeah.
I can
That
reword
works.
the example a little bit. So it's just a teacher. It actually might simplify it a little bit.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, that sounds good.
That, and it's fun to make them turn it into an art teacher. So okay. All right. Someone want to phrase this in a way that I can write it? Sorry.
Maybe say department instead of apartment.
Oh. You guys talked it up for like 24
Who
hours?
doesn't have jurisdiction over that within that department?
I'd probably just get rid of the and the teacher. Just swap the and for a period. Just start a new
Sure.
sentence. Cool.
Okay.
All right, I think that's all we need to do.
Yeah, do we want to actually write out the quiz question in a way that makes quick sense for the answers we've given?
Yeah. And then just say like who teaches civics or something like that.
Who teaches the same class? Or
Yeah, exactly. That way it's like there's a distinct.
That
And then who teaches art? In hopes, go back to the art sentence. Who teaches art, comma, in hopes that this teacher will pass it on to his coworker or something like that. And the comma doesn't actually need to be there. I lied.
helps that.
In hopes that who teaches art in hopes that the art teacher will pass it on to his coworker. What should the art teacher do?
Hey, real quick, in our answers, we have accounting teacher, so we might want to switch that to art teacher.
Grade the paper because he knows accounting, because he knows a little bit of because he knows about
He was
accounting.
a previous accounting teacher.
Yeah. Sure.
Oh, there you go.
And just in B, do you want to just say to another art teacher?
Pardon?
Just in B, say the student hands the paper to another art teacher.
The student hands the paper to an art teacher.
In B.
In B.
B. Last one.
As in delta. Okay. The student hands the paper to an art teacher, and the teacher gives him a gold star.
Yeah, D is kind of a throwaway answer, but
D kind of like,
how can we change B to be more?
well, D doesn't
challenging?
make any sense because it doesn't have anything to do with the art teacher.
Okay. Redo D.
Okay.
So what's the bottom part of what we said for the feedback?
I guess what would the long, oh, we lost it. What would the long arm of the law statute withhold him from doing? That's kind of how we need to form the question, the answer.
Maybe this is kind of dumb, but it fits the explanation. We could say the art teacher teaches a class in the same classroom as the student, whoever's turning in the paper. So she feels like she can grade the paper based off being in that room. Because that falls under the long arm statute, because that just means that they do business in that state. So then they
Right.
feel like,
Yeah, that'll work.
All good. Oh. Yeah, sorry guys. I work nights, so I've been up for like 24 straight hours. So
You're totally fine, man. Thanks for typing that out.
doesn't
probably-
read right.
Try to pass it around in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks good to me.
Yep.
Okay.
cool. All right. Well, I'm going to stop the broadcast and I'm going to shoot that link over to you and then make sure that you submit this on iLearn.
Perfect. Sounds good.
Cool. Do we need to do anything else, or?
Not that I know of. I think that we're good
Perfect.
there. So.
All
And
right.
this time works good for everybody going forward.
Yeah, this time works.
You want to put it in the chat on here? Just the link.
Yeah. Oh, I had a thing. So I'm one of those weirdos that doesn't have an iPhone. So when we're on the group chat, I get like individual texts from everyone. Do you guys have Google Hangouts on your phones? Because we could just use the Hangouts to talk on the chat in the future, which may be a little easier.
Yeah, I got Google Hands on the phone.
Yeah, I do as well.
Are we good with that?
Yep, I'll get that.
Cool. All right. Well, talk to you guys later.
Okay.